What is up, guys, and welcome back to another day here at Whitley Auto Works. Well, the other day me and a subscriber kind of got into a conversation. I did a spray out as usual. You've seen me spray out a million different fenders, I'm sure. And he was saying, I think this pearl by this different manufacturer would look better than this pearl. And I said, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe, but honestly, it's all mica powder. It might have a slightly different tint. You might do a different pigment load, and that might change it a little bit. He's like, I don't think so. I think it's just the brands. This brand is better than this brand. And I'm like, well, I really don't think so, but that gives me an interesting idea. So what I'm doing today is taking some of everybody's favorite pigment brands and spraying them out against each other. I've got a hood that I've used in past videos. We're going to divide it into 4 and spray out different pigments. So let me walk you through the competitors for today's video. Alright, so competitors for today's video. I'm going to take you through the least known all the way up to the most known. The least known, or I guess the underdog of this whole situation, is going to be Rolio pigments right here. I found them on Amazon. They look like a newer company. I don't really know a whole lot about them. I've sprayed them out on a couple episodes. Seems like they make a pretty good product. And yeah, so I'm going to shoot them out today, and we're going to compare them to the other more well-known brands and see how they stack up. The next pigment is the one he actually mentioned, eye candy pigments. It's gotten a lot of exposure here lately. It's kind of the new guy to the game as far as big brands go. A lot of people love it, and I know it gets a lot of views on YouTube videos and stuff like that. So we've included them in today's spray out. The next one is a little bit more well known. It's the one I've known about for, I've been doing pearl paint jobs like this for the past 15 years. KP Pigments. Probably most familiar or most known in dip your car applications where they use the plastic dip, Fonzie, all them guys. Yeah, KP Pigments has been around forever and they make a really good product. The last one you guys probably might not know about unless you're in any way, shape, or form in the automotive paint game is Cromax pearls. Now these are the pearls that they use when you're getting your paint mixed up at your store or at like paint stores like Napa and O'Reilly's when you need OEM colors mixed up, new stuff or whatever. The pearl additives that they use to create the effects on these OEM colors is Cromax pearls, and I got a set of them here too. They're very high-end pearls. They're a lot more expensive than any of these other pearls. But just for sake of this video and for sake of argument and discussion, I'm walking you guys through 4 different selections, all the way from unknown on Amazon all the way up to industry standard automotive pearls. And we're going to really truly test out today whether or not brand makes a difference. So I'm going to get this hood prepped up real quick, and we're going to get spraying out some pearls and see what we got. Alright guys, so fast forward a little bit. Here's my thought process behind this whole crazy experiment today. I got this hood prepped up with Rustoleum 2X in a can. I sanded it really good with 400 wet sand, and I went ahead and painted it. And what I'm going to be doing is divided it into 4 sections. I've got 4 different competitors right here. I've got different pigments that all look really close to the same outside of the mix. So I'm going to show you what our competitors are going to be for today. We're going to be doing the exact same amount of clear coats over here, probably 3 coats, exact same amount of pigment load, probably half a teaspoon, and probably 5 ounces of clear in each one. Maybe a little bit less, but I'll let you know when we get to that point. But first, let me walk you through each color that we're actually going to be shooting out and comparing, and then we'll get into mixing up some clear. So let's check out these colors. Alright guys, so the first color we're going to be comparing today is Zephyr by Eye Candy. I know you guys, some of you guys have probably already seen this sprayed out, but you're going to see it compared to some of the other pearls today. The one by KP Pigments we're using is Sonic Blue. As you can tell, they're in the same class of pigments. The one I'm using by Rolio Pigments is called Azure. I don't know if you can see that on the can, Azure. And it's really close also to those colors. And this is where it gets interesting. Now, the Cromax pearls are all white particle based. If you don't know the difference between solid and white particle based pearls, you can look that up. I've done other videos explaining it. But essentially, that right there is very expensive. That's the cheapest. And these two are in the same ballpark as far as price wise. But they're all going to ultimately get close to this same color around right here. So what we're going to do is mix up clear one at a time. I'm going to section off this hood. We're going to spray each one of these out, and then we're going to decide which one's the best. Let's get into today's video. Alright guys, so this might get a little confusing fast, but I'm going to be mixing this clear up. I'm going to do 3 ounces. I got Speedo Coat Clear. For those of you guys that are familiar with my channel, you know I've been using this for a while, and I do tend to jump around with different products to showcase them. 4-to-1 mix. I add a little bit of activator in on that, and it is about 80 degrees today, and it's getting hot quick, so I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible for you guys so you can see the end result out in the sun, and so I don't get too much humidity in the air because it's already getting there. Anyways, let's jump into it. Alright, so first I'm going to be doing Rolio pigments in 4 ounces of clear, okay? And the way I'm doing this is I got teaspoons right here, so what I'm going to do is get about half a teaspoon. I'm going to dump that in there, and then I'm going to bring you guys in close so you can see the mix on this Rolio pigment. Alright guys, so this is Rolio pigment. Pretty cool blue. Looks very comparable to the other blues. And this is the first one going over our fender, the first contestant should I say. Pretty cool pearl overall. I like it. Let's see what it does over the fender. Alright guys, so this is going to get kind of repetitive really quick, but I've got my mix of clear already done up because I'm trying to speed through this at least a little bit. And the next pigment we're going to use is KP Pigments, the one that's been around forever. This is Sonic Blue. It's a really pretty blue. It looks just like some of these other ones. As I did with the first one, I'm going to try and get about half a teaspoon. Put that in the mix, and I'm going to bring you guys in close so you can see what this KP Pigment Sonic Blue looks like. Alright guys, so this is KP Pigment Sonic Blue. Now, right off the bat, I have noticed that it actually disappears a little bit better in the mix than the Rolio pigment did. So it might be a little bit thinner pigment load, or just a little bit thinner pigment in general. But it looks virtually the same, and it's very pretty. So let's load up the gun and let's spray this one down. Alright guys, so we got the KP pigments down. I went ahead and mixed up some more clear. Now, the one that he was talking about that he really liked, this Zephyr. Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to just be honest with you guys. All this stuff in the powder form looks very similar. I don't know if you noticed it in the mix, but... And I'm trying to be completely fair to each one of these. Me personally, I don't really have a preference. I spray out with all kinds of stuff, whether it's cheap, whether it's expensive, I really don't care. But, alright, we got Zephyr by Eye Candy in the mix. I'm going to bring you guys in close so you can see what it looks like. Alright guys, so this is Zephyr by Eye Candy. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm completely unbiased with a lot of these. This looks a lot to me like KP Pigments. I don't know, maybe we'll see something different out in the sun. But they're so far, most of them are looking about the same. Still all really cool, beautiful pearls. But anyways, let's load up the gun and let's spray Zephyr down. I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing blue. This is very fun, but very repetitive. All right, so last but definitely not least is the Cromax pearls, the high-end expensive stuff. Now, this is white pigment, kind of sort of, you do see a little bit of blue to it, so I'm interested when we put it in the mix what it's going to do. But as with the other ones, I'm going to stick to the same thing, guys. I'm going to do a half a teaspoon. We're going to drop it in the mix real quick, and I'm going to bring you guys in close so you can see this high-end Cromax pearl in the mix. Alright guys, so as you can see, the Cromax is white. And when I start mixing it up, check that out. Now we're seeing blue. And I'm getting some on myself. Party foul. Anyways, we're going to spray this down on the panel. And let's see what we get with this Cromax pearl. Guys, so this is the spray out for today. Rolio pigments, KP pigments, eye candy, and Cromax, the high-end automotive pearl. Now, as far as which one is which, if I didn't tell you, looking at this hood, you probably couldn't even tell me which one was which, because these are very, very similar pearls. Some of them are a little bit thicker pigment, some of them are a little bit thinner pigment. But let me walk you through it real quick and let you know which is which, and then you guys can be the judge and make the decision in the comments which you thought won today's episode. Alright, so in the bottom right down here, this is Rolio pigments, guys. It actually turned out really good. It's very consistent comparison to the other pearls or whatever. It did great. It doesn't look cheaper. It doesn't look lesser. I mean, it just looks like very close to the same color. Down here, right here on the far left, this is KP pigments. Now, it did turn out a little bit darker, I think, than all the other ones, but nonetheless, still a beautiful color. Up here in the top right, with a little bit more sparkle, because I think it's a little bit bigger of a pigment. That's eye candy. It turned out great as well. And then over here on the far top left, that's Cromax right there. That's the high-end stuff. It's white particle. I did get a little bit of a haziness to it because of the temperature. And yeah, it's just the nature of the spray out is what happened. It is what it is, right? But this is the 4 different spray outs, guys. And like I said, I like them all. I mean, they look very, very close. If I hadn't pointed them out, you probably couldn't have told me which was which, like I said. But yeah, that's the episode for today, guys. Rolio pigments, KP pigments, eye candy, and Cromax. What do you think? Who won? Alright guys, so if you made it this far in the video, I hope you'll hit that like, that share, that comment, that subscribe. We're moving on with a new series that I'm announcing today where we battle out your favorite pigments and you guys get to choose who wins. We got eye candy, we got KP pigments, we got daggone Rolio pigments. I got some other ones over there. I got Cromax. I got all kinds of stuff. So you're not going to want to miss an episode. We're going to be battling eye candy against KP pigments. Baku Red, somebody asked for the other day, against scarlet red from KP. You just never know what combination we're going for. But that series kicks off today, as well as the other custom mix series that we already have with Rustoleum and everything else, guys. So we got tons of options, tons of content coming. You're not going to miss a minute of it. So like I said, that's why you need to be subscribed. If you want to use any of these pigments, if you want to use the clear, the gun, anything I used in today's episode, links will be in the description. You can click Ask See It on YouTube. That takes you to my Amazon store where you can buy anything you see on the channel there. We get a small kickback, but it doesn't cost you guys any extra, and you get all the benefits of Amazon Prime and everything else. Honestly, I thought this was very informational today, and it gives me a lot of confidence going into spraying any of these pearls because they're all beautiful in their own right. But ultimately, like I said, you guys get to choose the winner for today. And I hope you'll join me for all these other series I got coming up because we're rolling on, guys. Whitley Auto Works is pumping out content just as quickly as we can, trying to gain y'all's subscribership and all that type of stuff. But anyways, guys, I'm John from Whitley Auto Works. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you have a great day. God bless, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.